In this lecture, we'll be looking at parameters. Parameters can be used to further enhance how dynamic our dashboards are, and once you master them, can really take a dashboard to the next level. Parameters can be used to perform two key functions. The first is to pass control of a filter condition to the user. For example, rather than displaying the top 10 customers by sales, allow the user to set how many they wish to see. This is often referred to as top N analysis, where N is set by our parameter and is controlled by the user. Okay, so we'll show an example of how we can use parameter to control a filter value. Once again, we'll use our sample file and we'll drag sales on top of the columns and the customer name into the rows. Now, we'll get a little warning saying that there's quite a lot of members, but that's okay, we'll just add them all. And this is a complete list of our customers and their total sales. Now what I want to do is actually sort it. So I'll click on sum of sales and sort it in a descending order, and I can see my top customers here. Now it's quite a big list, so I'm going to filter it, and I'll drag customer name into the filters. So I'll get prompted with my filter menu, and I'll select the top number of customers, and we'll go for top 10 customers, for example, by sum of sales. So this filters it nicely down to 10 customers. However, if I wanted to see 15 customers, I have to actually go back into the filter and change this number to 15. And also, if I actually use this filter as a quick filter, I can only filter by customer name rather than changing the limits within the top function or top expression. So that's not really useful for me, so I'll hide that at the moment. And what I can do, I can go back to the filter, and in my top expression, instead of using a value, I can actually specify creating a new parameter. So I'll give this parameter name and customer. I'll leave it at 15, and we'll allow the parameter to have a range from 1 to 100 with a step size of 1. And we'll click on OK. So once we do that, we actually get a parameter card next to our chart, and we can use this parameter to actually control what's actually getting displayed. The second key function is that a parameter can be used to pass a dynamic value to a calculated field. For example, suppose we wanted to see what would happen to our profit margins if we reduced or increased the discounts offered to our customers. Rather than continually changing the calculated field to analyze what happens when the discount increases or in fact decreases, we can actually define a parameter and then alter the calculation in real time and immediately see the effects. So let's have a look at an example of how we can do this. With this example, we'll actually start by creating a parameter first and then utilizing it within a calculated field. So in your workbook, parameters are actually listed in the parameters view, which is generally in the bottom left corner of your screen. We can see our old parameter, the end customer, and we'll right click and we'll create a new parameter. We'll call this one % discount, and we'll make it an integer with a -20 value, and we'll create a range. Actually, we'll do a -2, and we'll create a range from -20 to maximum of 0. So it means we can give the customers up to 20% discount. So we'll click OK. The parameter is now created, and what we'll do now is we'll actually create a calculated field. In your measures, we'll right click and create calculated field based on the profit, and this field will be called profit with discount. Now the formula for this field will be profit minus profit times percentage discount. So we're taking away any discounts from the profit to get profit with discount. That was telling us the calculation is valid, so which means we can click on OK. And now we can actually do the charting. So we'll put an order date on top, profit onto the rows, and profit with discount onto the separate axis. We'll make it fit the width. Now, although there's two measures on the chart, they're actually overlapping each other. So what you have to do is right click on the axis and do a synchronize axis. And we could actually see the two measures now. The parameter was actually set to 2%. So the discount being applied is 2%. But what we want to do is use a parameter control to actually change the discount on the fly. So what we need to do is click on the parameter, drop down context menu, and select parameter control. Now we can actually control the level of discount and see the immediate effect on our chart.